Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Monday evening. I don't know about yourselves, but it's been a crazy busy day for me. I showed you yesterday. If you saw the episode, you'll see how I'm blocking up my calendar and doing as I teach you guys. Really, we're putting segments in my calendar that will keep me busy throughout the day and will help keep me on track and keep me productive. And it's one of those things where, again, just wanted to share a couple of things with you and say that we can plan our day, we can plan our life. And I tend not to plan too much in the future. I have some sort of standing items that are in my calendar for like every day, like so things that I know I'm going to have to do, like walking the dog. Right? And as I showed you yesterday, I put lunch in every day as well. And there's also now I've put like a 30-minute workout in every day for 6 o'clock. Hey Marty, thanks for tuning in. Um, so there's some things that you can put in every day, and then there's other things. What I tend to do is at the end of each day, so I do the excuse me daily reflection that I've talked to you guys about before. When you look at what's happened in the day, what did I achieve in the day, what sort of wins did I get, what didn't go so well, and then you sort of look at that and plan for the following day. So then what I do is I'll sort of just fill in the gaps in tomorrow's calendar. Now I'm usually like 1 or 2 days ahead, and so what happened today is I had 3 podcast appointments booked to for people to record episodes on my podcast, Maximize Your Potential. And so I'd put those three appointments in my calendar, and then I'd looked at there and said, okay, at 12 o'clock, I wanted to watch a teaching that John Maxwell was doing that I shared on my page as well. Hopefully, you got to see that. If not, go back and watch that. It's definitely worth watching. And then I wanted to do a run because I've got this half marathon coming up on Saturday that I want to do. And so I'll put some time in for a run. I've got my workout in there, the time in for lunch, and then I'm preparing taking part in a virtual summit for someone in the UK. So I've got to prepare a 30-minute recording for that, and I've got to do some work on that. So those segments are in my calendar. Anyway, the one of the podcast interviews I had was with someone in the UK, and they'd gone to my scheduling page and booked it for 2 o'clock. So I was okay, cool, 2 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I had a message from them saying, "Hey, you ready?" And I was like, "But it's 2 o'clock." Now they obviously looked at it. 2 o'clock UK time is 9 o'clock US time, so they thought it was like going to be 9 o'clock. Okay, so what did I have to do? I had 2 choices, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I want to record this episode for my guest, and it fell in a time where in my calendar I'd got my run scheduled in my calendar. So obviously the guest is more important. So all I do is I move the run to a later time. Right? I don't take it out completely because at the end of the day I know I have to run. Right? I need to do that because it's a stepping stone towards my goal. My goal is important to me. Now, let me tell you the truth. If I didn't have a half marathon on Saturday or I wasn't working towards that goal, I probably would have just cancelled the run, right? Because nobody would have known other than me. I'm not. Nobody else knew that it was in my calendar. It doesn't matter to anybody other than me. But because I've got that end objective, because that objective is important to me, I wanted to move it. So I moved it. Originally, I moved it to later on during the day. And then it got to a point at lunchtime where it's like, I really need to just go and do that. So I actually went at lunchtime. And yeah, it was hot and it was humid and so on. But I went. The point there is that if your goal means enough to you, right, if your desire and your passion is there, it will make you do things. And yes, you may have to move your calendar around a little bit when you're doing the planning. But it doesn't mean that you actually remove the thing. It just means that you reschedule it. So anyway, that was just a tip from today. What I want to do as well is I just wanted to show you something, and I just want to talk it through. All right, so let me just see. Hopefully, you guys can see this. So what I want to do is show you this picture. So this picture is something that again has been going around Facebook a little bit. And again, as you're watching, just say hi, like Marty's done. Say hi. Let me know you're watching. If you've got any questions, any thoughts, then by all means share those as well, so that we can chat through this. And this is a picture that has been going out around obviously COVID. It says, "Who do I choose to be during the COVID-19?" And so it's relevant at the moment, but I would say that it's relevant at all times, because you could take out the during the COVID-19 and just say, who do I choose to be? And that's a question for all of you, right? Because you can't control everything in your life, right? There are some things you can control, there's some things you can't. You've heard me probably talk about that before in terms of stress, why I don't stress. If I can't control it, there's no point worrying about it. Right? I can't control COVID-19. I'm not that powerful. But what I can do is I control my actions. Right. So, at the moment, I mean, I'm fairly isolated anyway in the home. But when I go out there, if I go to the grocery store, I'll make sure that I clean the cart and everything before I use it. I make sure that I don't, be close to anybody within 6 feet that potentially could impact me. When I go out running, again, if I'm running and somebody is coming on the street on the same sidewalk, then I'll move to the side, right, and move around them. So I can control what I do. I can't control what other people do. And so when you look at this picture, we have a thing there. The first part is what's called the fear zone. And in the fear zone, what it says at the top is I search and share everything I can find about COVID-19. Right, so what's happening a lot is people are feeding the fear. All right, they're feeding the fear because everything that you see, pretty much everything that you see, certainly in the high 90% that you see on social media or you see on the news about COVID-19 is negative. Right, it's feeding the fear. Right, that's when you're living in the fear zone, that's what you're doing. Right, in general, in the fear zone as well, you get irritated easily, and what it says here again with regards to COVID-19 is I panic buy. That's why people have been buying bucket loads of toilet paper. I still don't understand that. I don't understand why they were going and hoarding things when we first started going into these potential stay-at-homes and then ultimate stay-at-homes. Right, the supermarkets have got plenty of supplies, right, and they're bringing supplies in daily. So there is really no need to panic buy. But when you're in the fear zone, everything seems like it's an issue, so therefore people tend to panic buy. Right? They also act like a victim, looking for who to blame. Right? So it's not their fault. They got that victim mentality. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Well, it's not happening to you. Right? It's not all about you. But when you're in the fear zone, everything tends to be that way. If you move outside of that, you come into what's called the learning zone. Right? And in the learning zone, you stop consuming that which causes you harm. Right? So you tend to stay away a little bit from that negative media. Right? You look at, well, what can I drink? You maybe make a program to make best use of your time. And this is one of the things that I've said before. We've all got more time at the moment than we've probably ever had. But what are you doing to make that time effective? I've talked to you yesterday and at the start of this one about scheduling in your calendar and making sure you block out time to do things, right? But prioritizing and scheduling so that you get things done, and therefore you'll create time. You'll create more time in your calendar, but you'll be getting all the things done that you want to get done. Right, it also says in that learning zone that you recognize that everyone is doing their best while facing an extremely complicated situation. There is a standard feeling that sometimes people get frustrated at people saying that they're like underachieving or they're not trying hard enough, they don't care or whatever. You've got to remember that everybody is doing their best based on their level of awareness. Right, so if somebody is living in that fear zone and their awareness level is very low, they're performing to that capability. Right, you have to break through that and increase your level of awareness for their level of performance to increase. And again, this applies to everything, not just to COVID-19, right? This applies at work, this applies in personal life as well. And in that learning zone, you also start looking for opportunities. And here's the thing, when you start looking for opportunities, guess what appears? Opportunities. Because they exist all around us. But if we've got our head down and we're living in that fear zone, we don't see these things that are around us. We lift our head up when we start looking for them. Guess what? We see these opportunities. Then it's our choice as to whether we take advantage of these opportunities. And then when we move into the growth zone, which is where I tend to live, I definitely don't live in the fear zone. I will dip into the learning zone for sure in certain aspects of my life, but I want to be in the growth zone. You know, I think about others and how I can be of help to them. That's just my life in general. That's my why, to add value to other people so they can be the best versions of themselves. You know, I live in the now. As I've talked to you before, today matters. Today is the only day you can make a difference. So I live in the now, but I've got a clear picture of what's coming. I've got a clear picture of my vision and where I'm aiming for, and the stepping stones, the goals along the way. This is not a waiting room. This is life. This is where we live. This is what we've got to get on with. This is the hand we've dealt. Whether it's a good hand or a bad hand, it doesn't matter. It's how you play it that's important. And then we need to be appreciative. We need to be grateful for what we've got. We've got a roof over our head. You know, we've got air conditioning, which in Florida is great. You know, we've got supplies in the grocery stores. We've got interaction with other people through things like social media or you know, phone or text or whatever. We've got other people around us that care. So I want to urge you to move from that fear zone through the learning zone into the growth zone. And not just during COVID-19, but in all of your life, in everything that you do. I want to help you to encourage others to do the same. So I hope you enjoyed this message. If you watch the replay again, put #replay, say hi. Let me know what you think. Again, I'm going to bring a message to you about this time every day. To just sort of spread some hope and let you know that we're all in this together. I'm not going to break out singing the song from High School Musical, but we are all in this together. We will get through it. We're better together as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my podcast, go and subscribe to my podcast. Next episode is out tomorrow. Actually, this week I'm releasing one on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. Next week there'll be probably 3 being released as well. I'm also starting to narrate my book, 10 Steps to Freedom, on there. So the first part of the introduction is on there now. I'm going to be adding more things to it. You know, this week there'll probably be another like 5 or 6 episodes up there as well. I'm doing this to add value to you. I'm doing this to help you. I'm here to serve you. If you need anything, reach out to me. If you need a conversation, a chat, reach out to me. I want to help you. I want to be a resource to you. So have a great day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.